Have you ever felt like a whisper on the wind? Like something more. Like destiny, just woven into your very being. Welcome to ASTRALX, where, well, we try to illuminate those threads of your cosmic path. I'm Solarian Zephyr, and I'm your cosmic strategist for today.
I'm Lunaria Celine, and I'll be your intuitive guide. We'll be exploring the celestial energies that shape your journey.
Today, we're going to be focusing on the Gemini Sun, Libra Rising woman. Imagine, right, a mind that just sparkles with ideas, but it's balanced by a heart that just seeks harmony in every interaction. That's what we're going to try to unravel today.
It really is fascinating. You know, both signs are ruled by the element of air, so there's just this inherent lightness, a natural flow of energy, especially through communication and social connection.
This isn't someone who, like, sits on the sidelines. This woman engages, she connects, she brings people together, and she does it all with this quick wit and effortless charm.
Mm.
So let's start with that Gemini Sun. We know Geminis are curious, adaptable, always going from one idea to the next.
Yeah.
What does that look like when it's the core driving force of someone's personality?
Well, imagine a woman who can just discuss, oh, I don't know, astrophysics over breakfast.
Yeah.
And then just switch gears to analyze like the latest fashion trends. You know, that's the beauty of a Gemini Sun. They're intellectually agile, constantly seeking knowledge, new experiences. And it's not just about facts. They want to connect the dots, see the patterns, understand the world through a kaleidoscope of perspectives.
And they bring others along. They really do. Gemini women, I mean, they're the ones sparking those conversations, introducing people, making everybody feel comfortable with their humor.
Yeah. Their ruling planet, Mercury, gives them that gift of gab, you know, the ability to just weave words into stories and articulate like these complex ideas, but they do it in a way that's both insightful and entertaining.
Okay. But, you know, that duality, right? The twins, that constant mental juggling, that can also be a challenge, can it?
Oh, absolutely. One thing that can really trip them up, Gemini Sun women, is overthinking. You know, they get so caught up in analyzing every possible angle that they just get paralyzed by indecision. And that's where that Libra rising comes in.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The ascendant or rising sign, it kind of shapes our outward personality, the mask we wear.
Yeah.
But how does that Libra energy affect how people see her?
Libra rising, it adds this layer of grace and diplomacy to that Gemini sparkle. Think Audrey Hepburn, just that timeless elegance, the ability to, you know, just put everyone at ease. Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. So these women, they just have a refined sense of aesthetic, and they just know, they get social dynamics.
So it's not just about looking good, but also creating that harmonious atmosphere, right? Smoothing over conflicts, finding the middle ground.
They have this, it's almost uncanny, this ability to sense what people need, and then they adjust.
Yeah.
You know, they're the peacemakers, the diplomats. They bring people together even when, you know, people disagree.
Which is so important for that Gemini Sun, right? Because sometimes all those mental gymnastics lead to, well, tension, especially if they're not careful. So we have this intellectual curiosity, and we have social grace. But how does that play out in the real world, like let's say in the workplace?
Okay, well, imagine her leading a team meeting. You know, she can just effortlessly present complex information in a way that's clear, engaging, while also making sure everybody feels heard. Or picture her negotiating a deal. Her mind sees all the angles, while her charm builds trust, builds rapport.
They can really light up a room, intellectually and socially. But before we get too carried away, we got to talk about 2025. It's a year of huge astrological shifts, and knowing how those transits will impact the Gemini Sun Libra Rising woman is, well, essential. So let's get into it. First up, we have Jupiter, expansion in good fortune, moving into Gemini around mid-May. So what kind of opportunities does that bring for her?
This is where things get really exciting. Jupiter amplifies everything. And for a Gemini Sun, that means curiosity and communication skills are going to be supercharged. This is a woman who already loves to live and loves to connect. Now imagine that times 10. It's a time for new ideas, you know, diving into new subjects, expanding their social circle, maybe even taking on a leadership role where they can share their knowledge and inspire others.
This sounds like a year of huge personal and professional growth. But Jupiter isn't the only planet doing big things in 2025, right?
Oh, no, not at all. We also have Uranus, the planet of innovation and unexpected change, continuing its journey through Gemini all year. Now, Uranus is known for shaking things up, breaking things down, and pushing us out of our comfort zones. For a Gemini Sun, this could be exhilarating and a little unnerving at the same time.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Jupiter's expanding her world, and Uranus is pushing her to change. So How do those energies combine to really impact her life in tangible ways? What kind of shifts can she expect? What kind of choices will she have to make? And what does it all mean for her journey of self-discovery?
It's like she's standing at a crossroads. Multiple paths, all stretching out before her, each one shimmering with possibility. Jupiter saying, go explore, expand your horizons, embrace the unknown. But Uranus is whispering, don't just follow the well-worn path, forge your own way, break free from limitations, embrace the unexpected.
Wow, that's powerful. It's like she's being given the cosmic green light to reinvent herself, to step into like a bolder, more authentic self.
Exactly. And for a Gemini sun who thrives on new experiences and mental stimulation, this can be so liberating. It's a chance to break free from old ways of thinking, to challenge those limiting beliefs, to embrace a more unconventional approach. But we can't forget about that Libra rising. How does that desire for harmony play into all of this?
That's such a good question. On the one hand, we have this push for radical change, and on the other, this deep need for stability and connection. So how does she reconcile those opposing forces?
It's about finding that balance between head and heart. The Gemini sun might be, craving intellectual freedom, excitement, but the Libra rising wants peace, wants harmony in their relationships. It's about making choices that honor both.
So it's not just about throwing caution to the wind, not about reckless decisions. It's about being thoughtful, considering the impact of her choices on herself and the people she cares about.
Exactly. It's not about choosing one side or the other. It's about integrating these seemingly opposing forces. It's about finding a path that allows her to evolve, to grow, while still maintaining that stability and connection in her life.
Which brings us to, I think, the big question. How do these cosmic shifts play out when it comes to love and relationships? We know that for a Gemini sun, communication it's key. But with Uranus there, things could be, well, unpredictable.
Oh, absolutely. It's the planet of sudden awakenings, unexpected encounters, unconventional relationships. So for the Gemini sun, Libra rising woman 2025, it could bring surprises in the love department. It could be a whirlwind romance, just sweeps her off her feet. Or maybe a sudden realization that she's outgrown a relationship, or even a shift in her understanding of what love and partnership really mean.
So buckle up, ladies, because 2025 might just take you on a wild ride.
Yeah.
But let's be practical for a minute. How can she navigate these potential ups and downs? I mean, in a way that honors both her need for freedom and her desire for connection.
The key is to stay true to herself, to communicate her needs, her desires clearly, and to be open to new possibilities, but without, compromising her values. If she's in a relationship, now's the time to have honest conversations about needs, how they can both thrive. And if she's single, it's a time to embrace her individuality, to explore different types of connections, and just trust that the universe will bring the right person at the right time.
So whether she's coupled up or flying solo, 2025 is a year to redefine love and to create relationships that reflect her authentic self. Speaking of authenticity, let's talk about career. We know Geminis they're multi-talented.
Often juggling lots of interests, projects. How does that work in the workplace? And how do those astrological transits affect her career path? Well, with that Gemini sun's, intellectual curiosity and the Libra rising's diplomatic skills, she's drawn to careers that let her connect with people, share her ideas, and create harmony. But with Uranus in the mix, she might feel pulled towards something more unconventional, a path that lets her express her talents in a way that feels truly fulfilling.
So we might see her like branching out, maybe starting a business, pursuing like a creative passion, something she's always, put on the back burner.
Exactly. This is her year to step outside of her comfort zone and embrace that entrepreneurial spirit. But it's not just about changing careers. It's about aligning her work with her soul's purpose, finding a way to use her gifts to make a positive impact.
I love that. It's more than a paycheck, right? It's about finding work that lights her up, that lets her express herself, and that contributes to something bigger.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. Not everybody can just quit their job and follow their dreams. So how can she, navigate this in a way that's practical but also fulfilling?
It's about taking small steps. Exploring options, networking with like-minded people, building that foundation for success, maybe a side hustle, volunteering for something she cares about, or just carving out time to explore those creative interests.
So it's about creating space for those dreams to blossom, even if, she's not ready for that big change.
Yeah.
And that takes us to our final topic for this segment, personal growth and well-being. With all this change happening externally, how can she stay grounded and nurture herself?
This is where self-care is just so important. The Gemini Sun, she tends to overthink, and the Libra Rising, she wants to please everybody, so she might feel scattered, overwhelmed. It's important for her to create rituals, create practices that help her reconnect with her center and replenish her energy.
We've talked about the big picture of 2025 for her, but now it's time to get practical. What are like some specific tools, techniques, things you can use to navigate these energies and really make the most of this year?
Well, one thing that can be really helpful is journaling. The Gemini mind is always, always buzzing with ideas. So taking the time to actually write those thoughts down can really help. It can create a sense of mental clarity and help her identify patterns and themes that might be emerging.
It's like taking all those thoughts and making a story out of them. But it's not just about processing thoughts. It's about intuition too, right? That
Yeah.
inner knowing that sometimes gets lost in all the mental chatter.
Exactly. And that's where meditation can be so powerful. Even 5 minutes a day. Just quiet reflection. It can help her tune into that inner voice, that source of wisdom that's always there.
So it's about creating space,
Yeah.
space for stillness,
Mm-hmm.
for listening. But we also know that for a Libra rising, connection is essential. So how can she build relationships that support her growth, her well-being during all this transformation?
It's about, being intentional with the people she surrounds herself with. It might mean, letting go of relationships that no longer serve her and seeking out connections that inspire her, uplift her, and encourage her to be herself.
Creating a tribe
Yeah.
of supportive souls who celebrate her, who empower her. But let's talk about that Libra love of beauty. How can she use that in her daily life to feel better?
It can be simple things like creating a beautiful space in her home, surrounding herself with colors, textures, things that bring her joy, or maybe it's spending time in nature, appreciating the beauty of the natural world,
Yeah.
or expressing herself creatively through art, music, dance.
It's about feeding her soul with beauty
Mm,
in all its forms. But we can't forget about the physical body.
yeah.
What are some tips for staying grounded, staying energized during all this growth?
Movement is key. The Gemini energy can be, well, restless, so
Yeah.
finding a way to move that she enjoys, yoga, dance, or even just walks in nature, it can really help her release that energy and stay connected to her body.
Got to be joyful,
Mm.
liberating, not a chore. And of course, we can't talk about well-being without talking about food.
Mm.
What are some key things she can do to nourish herself?
It's about listening to her body, choosing foods that make her feel good, make her feel energized, maybe incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, trying new things, or even just paying attention to how she feels, after she eats.
It's about a loving relationship with her body, honoring it, respecting it. We've covered a lot of ground today, from those big astrological transits to really practical tools and techniques, things that can help her thrive in 2025. But as we wrap up, I want to leave you all with one final thought.
Remember, you're a powerful co-creator of your reality. The stars might guide you, but you have the power to choose your path, to embrace your potential, and to create a life that truly reflects your soul.
Beautifully said.
Mm.
And if you're feeling called to explore your cosmic path a little deeper, remember those personalized readings we offer. The information's, well, it's in the description below.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And may you always be guided by your inner wisdom and illuminated by the light of your own unique cosmic path.